Financial Planner. Follow us on YouTube.
22 report. We are near the end game. The entire system is about to come down. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. As we can see, the retail apocalypse, it is still happening. Nothing has changed as of yet. The economy has not improved. People aren't making more money. People aren't getting better jobs. Everything is pretty much the same. All the manipulation that's been going on is exactly the same. The debt level is actually higher now than ever before. And Toys R Us announced that they'll be closing about 182 stores. That's about 20% of their locations. They declare bankruptcy back in September. And this is just the beginning. We're going to see a lot more stores close down. We're going to see a lot of vacancies out there where there's going to be a lot of commercial real estate that is completely open, empty. And we can see right now that this is continuing on. The pump up that we saw during 2017 is starting to fade off right now. We need to remember that the Trump administration has been using the same exact tactics as the central bankers, the cabal. Remember, the central bankers, the Treasury, they have the ability to manipulate the stock market. They have the ability to make the stock market go up, make it go down. They can do whatever they want. Yes, once Trump says this is his stock market, he really is saying it is his stock market. He has the ability to make it go up and up and up. And this is exactly what to do. He's using the same tactics that the cabal, the central bank, have been using for a very long time. But he's using them on them because we need to get rid of this system that is dying. And he knows that. He understands that. He knows that this is one gigantic bubble, that it's all fake, phony, and everything else. And to get everything prepared and ready, he needs to do certain things. And it's not just him. There's many others in the background supporting this. And we can see that the economy is deteriorating very, very quickly. We see December housing data. Well, it doesn't look too good. Existing home sales slumped by 3.6% month on month. Investment about 5.6% in November, which is kind of strange because normally the fall, winter months in real estate, they're not too good. And what's funny is during the summer, we saw real estate not doing well at all. And then all of a sudden we enter the fall and winter months, all of a sudden real estate is doing well. No, that's not really what's happening. There's a lot of manipulation in the numbers. There's a pump up of the bubble. There's a lot of investment houses, hedge funds, the banks. They're all keeping the houses off the market. They're purchasing these houses with very cheap money, keeping them off the market, trying to drive prices up. The everyday person is sitting on the sidelines still. And they that there was going to be a 1.9% drop, but really what we had was a 3.6% plunge. And this is the biggest since February of 2017. And they're blaming this on that there's no housing supply out there. Now, this was done on purpose, where a lot of these hedge funds, investment companies, banks, they kept the houses off the market because how else do you drive prices up? You make it seem like there's not that many houses out there and you can drive prices up. The less houses that are out there, the more people will purchase. And we can see right now that as the Fed continually raise rates, as the Fed unwinds its balance sheet, we see that things are taking a hit. And this will probably continue on. Remember, we have two things happening here. We have the real economy with the people, where they can't find jobs or they have part-time jobs, where they can't purchase houses. We see auto loan delinquencies surging. We see student loan delinquencies surging. We see all these different problems headed our way. And the real economy has been deteriorating very, very rapidly over this, 8-9 years. While they had the manipulation of the stock market, GDP numbers, unemployment numbers, and everything else, where they're continually pushing these numbers to make everyone believe the economy is doing well. Just like they did back in 2008 when they told us the subprime securities were all AAA, but they were complete garbage. And they told us that, all the corporations, they're doing fine. Everything's great. It looks incredible. And then we find out that the automobile manufacturers, they're bankrupt. AIG, they're bankrupt. Most of the banks are bankrupt. Lehman Brothers, gone. Bear Stearns was in trouble. The same thing is happening right now. Nothing has changed. I mean, think about it. Before Trump was in office and Obama was in office, the economy wasn't growing. They were manipulating it. The same thing's happening right now, but for a different reason. It's sneaky because right now they're trying to bring down the system to shut the funds off from going to the cabal, to shut down the central bank. And we're in the middle of this process of being prepared for this transition that is coming up. And it's sneaking up very, very quickly. And it looks like the end is getting very, very close. I mean, we are seeing all different signs that the economy is sliding. Now, what's very interesting is that Credit Suisse was out there, and they're saying that the U.S. pension funds, they're going to sell off billions and billions worth of stocks. Now, the amount that they're going to be selling off is about 12 billion worth of stocks, and that's going to be coming in the next couple of days. And Credit Suisse calculates that funds are expected to sell a sizable 12 billion in equities and by roughly 24 billion in fixed income. Now, the amount of selling, Credit Suisse writes, would be the biggest in at least a year for a month that does not coincide with the quarter end. U.S. pension funds are also expected to be net sellers of international equities due to their similarly strong performance. For about 9 billion of selling in developed market equities and 3 billion in selling of emerging market equities. And they're expecting a significant rotation of assets into fixed income to continue. Now, with these pensions selling these stocks, what is this going to mean for equities? Well, we're going to find out. We also see that there's one trader out there, FX trader Richard Breslow. He says the market is not priced at all for a hot trade war. So we have all these different things headed our way, and there are warning signs that the pensions, they're going to be getting out of the stock market going into ahead, right? Because they realize the stock market most likely has hit the top, and this is a really good indicator to let everyone know that the stock market, something is about to happen. We also see that the market, well, it hasn't been priced in for the trade war with China, with South Korea, and this is another problem. I mean, think about all the indicators that we've been talking about and everything that we've been going over and how everything is coming to a head right now. Peter Schiff was out there, and he's saying that we are near the end game. And, of course, he's pointing to Trump, saying he's going to be the fall guy. And he said that when we look at the entire economy, this is how it's going to go down. So what's going to happen is interest rates are going to go up, going to keep rising. Commodity prices are going to keep rising. The dollar's going to keep falling. So you're going to start to see pickups in the official inflation rate. And so rising consumer prices and rising interest rates are going to start to be a powerful headwind for the economy because Americans are going to be spending a lot more money on basic necessities. If they have an adjustable rate mortgage, costs are going to go up. Credit card debt, auto loans, all this cheap money is going to be gradually going away, and the economy is going to be weakening. And as the economy is weakening, unemployment is going to start to pick up. Now the Fed is going to see this. The Fed is going to see the economy slowing down, and if they continue raising rates, it will go into a recession. Now that this is going to be done on purpose, either by Trump or the central bank, depending on who has control, who has the narrative of the story, because this economy at this point cannot continue on. It's time to make the transition. This is why all of this is happening right now. It looks like they're pushing the agenda to start the transition now. And I agree with Peter Schiff, where he's saying that we are near the end game, because everything that we've been looking at, there is no way they're going to be able to keep this bubble continually rising. Think about it. China just downgraded the United States. They're selling off their treasuries to accumulated even more gold. And countries are signing on to the One Belt, One Road trade system. And we see all these investigations happening within our government. The government right now is ripping itself apart. The whole system is ripping itself apart. And the only way to get out of what we're in today is to collapse it. It's almost like going bankrupt. When your company has a huge amount of debt, not a lot of revenue coming in, things aren't working out, you go bankrupt. You collapse the company. You reboot it. You wipe out to now and you restart it. That's why Trump is here. That's his main purpose, is to guide the entire country through a bankruptcy. Think about it. How many bankruptcies has he had? He's had a lot of bankruptcies. He knows how to navigate these type of things. And this is what is happening right now. And preparing us at the same time for this transition. Now, what is this transition going to be? Well, it's either going to be a transition that is going to correlate with the central bank, and the central bank is still going to remain in control, and they're going to move everything to China, or he's going to rush rid of the central bank and break us free from the central bank system. And this might be done at the same time with China and Russia, where all these countries at the same time break free from the central bank. They know the central bank is the enemy. This is why Putin took control of the private Western Central Bank in his country. They know that the central bank is the main problem. This is why Trump has Andrew Jackson hanging on his wall, because he is the one that got rid of the central bank. He campaigned on it. We're going to see the same thing. So we're headed towards this end game. It's almost here, and we can see everything has been down for this transition. China is already set up for a transition. Everything that's here, the trading systems, the petrodollar, all this stuff, well, it's been duplicated out in China. And we don't have to wait years for the petro yuan to gain traction and things like that. No, when the system comes down, they say, okay, get rid of your dollars. Here's the petro yuan. That's pretty much it. Think about it. When we came onto the petrodollar, nobody had the petrodollar. And then everyone was like, okay, here we are. This is the new system. Everyone join in. You must use the dollar to buy oil. So everyone started to ramp up on dollars. That's really what happened. The same thing's going to happen. Or. Now, the question is there going to be an event? Or is it going to be without an event, which I mean by war or anything else? Because if it's without war or anything, or any type of distraction, it all can be blamed on the central bank system. And I think this is what they're preparing to do. They're getting ready and prepared to blame all of this on the central bank to show that there's no need to have this type of system in place to run the economies, because they put the world into debt. They made countries and people suffer, and it doesn't benefit the human race. And I think this is what, but no matter what, we're headed towards a transition.